Sonic Comic Issue 9. Eggman brings a spider robot ride to life to threaten the heroes in the Hall of Mirrors, but then Sonic gets knocked away by it before Emerald could attack him. Big tries to use his fishing rod against it, and Eggman isn't immediately understood by his robots because he has a hurt nose, and so even his text is pretty hard to understand. Eggman plans to use the robot as a distraction so they can get away. Tails is briefly buried under some rubble, and he's noticeably bruised. But he's fine, apparently. No broken bones. Somehow. Meanwhile, the same thing happened to Chris when he falls through a hole from collateral damage, but never mind, he's only knocked out temporarily. He can still walk and everything, because the writer doesn't want us feeling too sorry for him. The humans, Big and Rouge, were knocked into the old sewers when the robot attacked, and Rouge is naturally annoyed that Tanako's only glad Topaz is okay. Tails gives Sonic a ring so he can plow through the rubble, and he tells his friends to help the others out, and Sonic uses his spin dash to get down to Topaz and tells him that Tails will help him out of the hole. He jumps out of it planning on dealing with the Scrambler, and instead of appreciating that Sonic went to help his friends, Emerald just notices that rings power up Sonic and goes to take one from him. This is annoying. This isn't Emerald at all. At that point, you might as well just have a completely different robot. It'd be the same exact plot. Because Emerald assumes the spider robot is a threat to Eggman, he helps Sonic defeat it, and starts mimicking what Sonic does so he'd have a better chance of defeating him. When Rouge says that she blames the humans for it stinking, at first I thought Amy was saying the humans don't smell this on Mobius, because that would have made actual sense since Eggman's a human. And where the fuck did he come from if he's from Mobius but not a Mobian? But eventually I realized she was talking about the sewers, because somehow Mobius is so great that even the sewers don't smell as bad. In a world with Eggman bothering it. Yeah, right. Tails and Rouge carry everyone except Big out of the hole, and Sonic is busy attacking the leg of the giant spider, and Tails warns the heroes to run for cover because when it falls, it'll take the whole building with it. I can forgive the ring giving Sonic the ability to jump super high, I suppose. Alternate continuity, and it's better than him jumping super high for no reason. But not the ring giving him the abilities he should have naturally. Amy says it'll take all three of them to pull Big out of the hole, and Rouge snarks that this is not the way she likes to pick up guys. So it's not just a fan misinterpretation of her, she really is like that. We just aren't allowed to see it for the same bullshit reason as why all of the many teenage Sonic characters aren't shown to be dating people. Topaz naturally feels vulnerable without her spy gear as she runs away with the other humans, and Emerald lampshades that doesn't know where Tails gets his rings. I hope I'm not seriously expected to believe it was Froggy who was weighing Tails down so much. It turns out to be a waste of time that they tried to save him since Froggy jumps down and they have to go back into the hole for him. And apparently when Bokoon eats too much sugar, he starts hallucinating. And giggling because of it. He's a robot, so I guess the sugar affects his unique chemistry differently. Eggman gets approached by Chris's parents and Cream before he can get to the shuttle. I like that Chris's mom tried to be useful by punching Eggman in the nose like she's in an action movie, but then she gets a net thrown at her. Eggman continues to annoy me with his accent spelled out text as I struggle to interpret what he says. The text blurb says that after much difficulty, Eggman finally communicates that Deco and Boko have to take the egg carrier to the pyramid hideout in Egypt while he and Bokoon will steal the shuttle. It's amusing that we had an impersonal text blurb tell us after much difficulty, implying the joke was kept off screen to actually be subtle. Sonic loses his grip, Emerald hides to protect himself so I guess he's a coward even though he just wanted to fight Sonic, and Tails saves Sonic. Froggy, who was apparently kidnapped by the Scrambler, gets saved by the fishing rod of Big, and Emerald gets the robot crumble on top of him, causing him to have his text all glitched out from damage when he's still capable of walking around just fine. I'm still worried about him though. I'm worried that they'll waste the character by not leading him in the right direction, even more so. The heroes hear a rocket engine, and impressively, Eggman's actually allowed to steal the space shuttle. Topaz says that Gun can track it down, as Sonic's naturally angry at his bittersweet victory. Unfortunately, Emerald succeeds in flying over to Eggman and tells him to repair him, calling him Dr. Robotnik. Sadly, the robots don't know why Eggman's been called Dr. Robotnik. Talk about tone deaf. Sega Japan, I swear. Who cares if it's an American name? He makes robots! Westwood then brags to Topaz that while she failed her mission, he secured some blueprints from the lab Rouge and her were supposed to investigate, and he acts all smug. They were supposed to investigate a lab? I can't help but kind of root for him though, because he's the underdog. He's a normal mortal being, and he's up against a Batgirl who can fly and her sidekick who gets half the credit. He needs every advantage he can get if he wants to do well in his career. I don't blame him for being jealous of these guys, even if he is portrayed as a douchebag. Him being jealous is a great reality ensues moment showing how other agents who aren't Topaz would react to her in Rouge. If anything, it's unbelievable that he's the only one who's being this way. The ending tells us that the story came out around the same time as issue 163, The Darkest Storm, which might be the most sloppily written of all of Flynn's stories. So thank God this story was by Joe Edkin. Eggman surprisingly wins by stealing the space shuttle, and he takes it to his pyramid. I guess so the SA2 adaptation can happen. So the question of why does Eggman have a space shuttle in SA2 is officially an imaginary plot hole, because even the Sonic X comic thought of a way to explain it. It's pretty obvious he stole it. And I like getting to actually see it. The heroes narrowly survive a tense situation because of Eggman's robots, with some time being wasted where some of them fall in a hole, and Westwood gets a victory, while Big fails to stop Eggman or do anything useful besides save Froggy. I loved that Emerald was helping Sonic in the story instead of trying to kill him all the time. Sadly, he gets damaged by the robot landing on him, and Eggman gets a hold of him. All because he couldn't just talk to Sonic. You know, like he did in Sonic Battle. I don't blame him for being scared and confused because he lost his memory. I just hope they won't insist on Sonic permanently killing him off after Eggman gets a hold of him. In Sonic Battle, when he was first introduced, his establishing character moment, he could talk all he liked. And that was vital because his whole appeal was that he had a personality, which got influenced by Sonic's various friends, making him a combination of them. Having him not talk completely misses the point of his character. It's amazing that I'm still invested in him based on just his design, when they made the same mistake with him that they do with Metal Sonic. Though granted, they portrayed him as just a generic evil robot in Archie Sonic Online too.